How's it going, everyone? This is Nick, and I want to give you guys an exciting update about what I've been working on here in the background with Reventure app. I'm getting ready to launch Reventure app 2.0 in the next couple weeks, and there's going to be lots of new features, a completely redesigned interface, and you guys are going to absolutely love it as home buyers and investors trying to better understand the direction of your housing market. I'm going to give you a sneak peek right now behind the hood of what Reventure app 2.0 looks like so you can know what to expect when it drops in early October. So first thing I want to do is a comparison. This is the current landing page and homepage on Reventure app. I'm sure many of you have gone to it at this point and seen it. You have to hit get started, and that takes you to the map. Well, what we're doing now in Reventure app 2.0 is we're going to have a search bar directly on the landing page so you guys can get into the data as quickly as possible. That's my goal for you. So if you're, say, a home buyer somewhere like Tampa, just type in Tampa on the homepage and you will immediately be taken to local housing market data in Tampa. And you can see here we're looking at home value and all the different zip codes in Tampa. And if you want to change the data point, you're now going to go to the left-hand side of the page where the data is easily accessible. This was a kind of a complaint I had from some of you in Reventure app version 1.0 is that the data was kind of tucked away up here in the top right. You had to click, select data point, and then click to see more. Now the data is readily available in different categories: home prices and affordability, market trends, demographic trends, and investor metrics. You can also just search data points very easily. Say you want to look at the cap rate for all the zip codes in Tampa, search it, click it, boom. Now you have cap rate data if you're an investor. If you want to see how overvalued the markets are, change it to how overvalued the markets are. We zoom in, we can see we got a lot of overvaluation towards St. Petersburg. Then we can expand and see how this overvaluation compares over time. We have redesigned graphs now on Reventure app 2.0 that are much more intuitive. They look better and they give you a better sense of what the history is in your local housing market. Now, before I get into more of the features and more of the improvements that you guys can expect, more of the data that you can access, I want to just zoom out and explain what my mission is here with Reventure app. Because now at this point, about 70,000 of you have used it and have signed up for it in the beta version. So a lot of you have used it and signed up, and I just want to give you more of a flavor and expectation how to use this tool. To me, this is a tool that you use to, number one, validate if now is the right time to buy in the area that you're looking at, and number two, discover new areas to buy that you might not have thought of in terms of cities and neighborhoods that fit your criteria. And really the way to figure out the first part, if now is the right time to buy, is to look at some of these kind of premium underlying metrics like overvalued percentage, like inventory. If we go back here and look at inventory levels across Tampa, zoom in here on a zip code in Pinellas Park, and we can see what's going on with inventory. Well, there's 30 homes for sale. And that went up last year. It's gone down again this year. And this is a historically low inventory level in this area. So it means if you're a buyer, you're going to struggle to find the house you want. There's not many homes on the market for sale. So this is kind of a negative if you're a buyer. Low inventory. It says maybe you should wait. Now, on the flip side, if we look at another data point called price cut percentage, the percentage of sellers cutting the price, we do see that sellers in the zip code are getting more aggressive on cutting the price. 36% of listings in August 2023 had a price reduction. That's way above what it was during the pandemic, suggesting that of the fewer listings on the market, the sellers are getting a bit more desperate, and that we could eventually see this days on the market at 34 days increase into the future. So that's an example where it's kind of a mixed picture in that local housing market. There's some bullish indicators, there's some bearish indicators as a home buyer, but other markets are much more clear. For instance, if we were to go to Nashville and type in a zip code here on the top search bar, you can see there's a zip code here north of downtown Nashville, 37207. Let's look at days on the market. We can see the days on the market and the zip code's way up over the last couple years, went from 17 days to 37. That's a signal, getting better for you as a buyer. At the same time, inventory has gone up from 66 homes to 161 homes. So we have more than a doubling in inventory the last 2 years. Good for you as a buyer. And at the same time, we have a lot of price cuts. 33% of the sellers reduced the price in August. So we have a trifecta in this neighborhood in northern Nashville of more days on the market, higher inventory, more price cuts, a signal to you as a buyer that it's becoming a better time to purchase a home. And so that's kind of the momentum-based aspect of understanding your housing market. I believe if you're a home buyer and investor, there's no way that you should buy or think about buying and make the biggest financial commitment of your life without knowing those data points concretely. You have to know those because they're going to give you increased confidence and affirmation and validation about what to expect and what your decision-making process should be. Now, in addition, you also probably want to consider overvaluation levels because in this zip code in Nashville, where the price cuts and inventory are way up, we can see it's 38% overvalued. The typical home price is $367,000. The fair home value is $264,000. Potentially lots of downside here. Now, this isn't saying that prices are necessarily going to go down 38%. It's saying it's 38% overvalued because the home value to income ratio at 6.49 is at the highest level on record, meaning that the locals are priced out of the market, and if there's any type of slowdown in migration and inbound demand, which we are seeing, prices are likely to drop. So maybe in that zip code, you wait a little longer for prices to drop. We feel confident they're going to drop. And then when they start dropping, you check the overvaluation metric. Maybe when it gets to 25, 20%, you start more seriously thinking about, all right, I'm going to go look for homes. Maybe I'm going to put in some lowball offers because we're going to get closer to the levels of where prices are more fundamentally supported. That's how to figure out kind of like if it's a good idea to buy in your area and what's going on in your area. There's also another way that you can use Reventure app is to discover new areas to buy, maybe ones you hadn't thought of before. So let's just go back to this example here in Nashville, and let's look at the filters here on the top right. Another new feature here is we have preset filters. So, in addition to being able to use all these filters on your own and figure out, exactly what you're looking for, you can just click one of these filters and look at the cheapest markets. Say you want to see the cheapest markets in Nashville with the most affordable prices. We click cheapest, and you can see immediately we are now looking at the more affordable areas where the typical home value max is at 424. Say you want to see a little cheaper than that, get down to 350, hit the apply button, and then we have the areas where typical home is less than 350,000 in Nashville. So if you're someone more on a budget, you would look more in these areas. You can also look at kind of maybe say the least overvalued areas in Nashville. What are the least overvalued areas to buy? We see some areas near the urban core out in Bellevue, as well as southeast in Murfreesboro. There's lower levels of overvaluation. You can also look for areas that are high income, which are predominantly south. And what's great is you can apply these metrics also to different cities. Say you're looking at moving, or say you're an investor trying to find a new market. Let's look at where are home prices most affordable in America, the lower value to income ratios. Well, we just chopped off a lot of stuff here on the West Coast. Max value to income ratio of 5.9. Say we want to get even more affordable, max value to income ratio of 4-to-1. All right, these would be the areas more relative affordability. If you're a home buyer and investor, you could start your search. And then you could pair these with additional data points. Like say you're someone who wants to be in an area that's growing with a growing population. Let's add population growth as a filter and only grow in positive population growth markets. All right, it's a more narrow list. You can see Houston pops up as one of the few major metros that's affordable with high population growth. Might be one of the reasons Houston's holding up a little better in this downturn. Now, one thing we do need to talk about here is pricing, everyone, because Reventure app is no longer going to be completely free. During the beta testing phase over the last 6 months, it's been completely free. All the data points, all the features, well, that's going to change now, and there's going to be 2 different memberships. The first is going to be a free membership, which is going to give you access to 8 basic data points on the US housing market for every city, metro, county, and zip code in America. So if you're on a free plan on Reventure app, you'll get access to home value growth, inventory growth, population, median household income, and then a couple rental rate metrics across every state, every metro, every county, every zip code, looking at this data historically so you can get a better sense of what's going on in your market. Now, if you want to access what I'm calling the premium data points, which are the ones with these crowns next to them, you will then have to become a premium member. So for instance, if you want to access overvalued percentage, a pop-up will come up saying sign up for a premium membership. The cost will be $39 a month or $399 a year, which is a 15% discount on the monthly rate. You will be able to cancel or downgrade at any time if you elect the monthly membership. The annual membership you'll be billed once a year, or you get this pricing pop-up. Say you don't want to do it right now, you can continue as a free user. Additionally, the filtering tools. These will be premium. So to access the preset filters I just showed you, you will need to be a premium member. Additionally, if you want to access table view, which is a list form of all the data. You can sort all the data in table view, cheapest home prices, highest home price growth, lowest home price growth. You can see those two for free, but if you want to access some of the other data points here, value to income ratio, overvalued percentage, price cut percentage, you're going to also have to become a premium member. Now, one thing to note on pricing is I will probably increase the price in the future, probably in the next 6 months as I add more features. And so when this launches, if you do elect to get the monthly or annual plan, the good thing about that, if you're an early adopter, is you will lock in your pricing. So when I increase the rates in 6 months, when I add more features, you'll still be at that $39 a month, $399 a year. And changing your plan will be super easy, everyone. If you want to upgrade or downgrade or whatever, you just open the top rate, go to your account, go to the billing page, and then right there, the type of plan that you have, you can change it, you can cancel it, cancel anyway, tell me why you're canceling, and you'll get downgraded to the free version and just build for the rest of the billing cycle. Now, folks, there's even more cool features I need to tell you about here on Reventure app before I sign off in the next couple minutes. One that I'm actually really most excited about is the fact that you will be able, whether you're free or premium user, you will be able to share graphs and map states on Reventure app. Check this out. So say you're a home buyer in Los Angeles and you type in Los Angeles to check out the data in LA. Load all the different zip codes in LA, right? And say we look at home value growth year over year. We see, there's some areas here where prices are going down in LA, other areas where they're flat. But, say you open up one of these graphs in a zip code you're interested in, and you see all of a sudden, okay, this is interesting. The prices were up double digits, now they're down 5%. Say you want to share this graph with someone. Say you want to text someone, do it on Twitter. Say you want to just email it. Say you want to email the link. Hit the share button, hit copy, and then boom, you have shared this specific graph with someone. So if you're somebody who's interested in the findings and you want to talk to colleagues or friends or family about it, it'll be very easy for you to share your findings and get them to look at what you're looking at. Lastly, I just want to thank you guys over the last 6 to 9 months for all your interest and support in the app. As I said, the user list on the app is now 70,000. And I really don't know how many of you will become paying users, but we'll see how it goes. I think I developed a product that's pretty cool. It adds a decent amount of value for you as a home buyer and investor who really wants to better understand the state of your market, the future of your market, and what the data is saying. So I'm going to be very excited to launch Reventure App 2.0 in the next couple weeks, looking like maybe the first week of October into the second week of October. And of course, make sure to leave some comments on this video or on the comment section to the blog here on Reventure App, leaving your feedback on what you think about what you just saw.